Karen Maplethorpe wasn't just your average HOA chairwoman. She was the nosy, neck-craning, binocular-wielding watchdog of Willow Creek Estates, and nothing slipped past her, except maybe her own ego. Her favorite pastime, micromanaging mailbox paint shades and reporting garden gnomes as aggressive lawn decor. But beyond her passive-aggressive newsletters and wild thirst for control, there was one thing Karen loved more than power: cold, hard cash. Welcome to Prodigy Tales. Make sure you like and subscribe for your top-notch HOA drama. So when a polished black Escalade rolled up to her perfectly power-washed driveway and a slick-talking man stepped out, Karen's curiosity flared hotter than her obsession with property lines. He was tall, silver-tongued, dressed like he came straight from Wall Street, and had that smile, charming enough to make snakes look like saints. He introduced himself as Mr. Ashford, a local businessman who needed a discreet place for private meetings with his partners. Nothing fancy, just a quiet little office for a social club. Karen squinted. "You mean a chess club?" she asked, already picturing dollar signs behind her cat-eye sunglasses. He chuckled, smooth as silk. "Exactly. A gentleman's chess society, clean, quiet, and generous." That last word had her hooked. He slid her a thick envelope that practically bulged with $100 bills. She didn't count it. She didn't need to. Karen hadn't seen that much money since her failed Tupperware empire in the 90s. Her moral compass didn't just wobble, it flat out jumped ship. "Now," Mr. Ashford said smoothly, "you don't need to involve your little board. Just say it's an administrative rental. You keep the keys, we keep the quiet. Deal?" Karen didn't hesitate. "Deal," she smiled, already fantasizing about luxury spa days and new faux marble counters. She told herself it was harmless, just some fancy old men pushing pawns and sipping brandy. And if the HOA handbook said she couldn't lease out community property without a vote, well, Karen had never let pesky rules get in the way of a good power trip. She signed off the back room of the HOA office that same afternoon. No paperwork, no board meeting, no questions. Just cash, a promise, and a door unlocked for strangers. Karen locked the heavy oak door of the HOA office behind her and slipped inside like a cat with a secret. The envelope of crisp bills was burning a hole in her purse. No one in the HOA board would ever suspect a thing. After all, she was the president, the dispatcher of fines, the keeper of the keys. She tucked the envelope beneath her velvet blazer and wiped a bead of sweat from her forehead. The deal felt too delicious to question. Every morning, Karen would swing by the office before addressing her neighbors' complaints about untrimmed hedges or improperly aligned mulch. She'd unlock the glass-paneled door, peek down the hallway, and flash a tight smile, pretending to be greeting her dear constituents. Then, one by one, the social club members would arrive. Old Mr. Whitaker in his tweed coat, stooped but eager. A rotund fellow who liked to sniff brandy from a crystal glass, and two younger men in sunglasses who never said more than a word. They whispered in low tones, carrying sleek briefcases and unmarked bottles of water. Karen prided herself on discretion. She counted the days until payday, sliding bills into her personal safe at home, right next to her collection of best neighborhood trophies. Every transaction was cash only, no paper trails, just the way she liked it. The board's annual budget review came and went, and Karen listed the office as reserved without elaboration. No curious eyebrows raised, no questions asked. Still at night, her reflections in the window made her uneasy. She'd rehearse responses for prying neighbors. "Oh, they're community volunteers," she would say with feigned innocence. "Just outreach," and she'd bat her eyelashes like a sitcom star in distress. The money continued rolling in, and Karen's bank account swelled faster than her ego. She bought silk scarves, a new espresso machine, and hired a cleaning service to spritz the HOA office with scent-worthy freshness. But every empire built on secrets trembles at the first whisper. Karen caught a ripple in the neighborhood grapevine, neighbors murmuring about odd deliveries, strange roadsters, and hushed conversations behind tinted windows. She brushed it off, sipping her latte with a triumphant grin. As long as her pockets jingled with cash, she was untouchable. Yet in the shadows, suspicion was stirring, like a beast ready to pounce. Suddenly, her heart raced with dread over the secret fortune she'd amassed. Dawn broke over Willow Creek Estates as whispers wound through the manicured lawns. Karen Maplethorpe stepped into the HOA office clutching her clipboard, expecting business as usual. Instead, Mrs. Finley and Mr. Daniels hovered near the entrance. "You've seen them?" Mrs. Finley hissed. "Those black SUVs scouting your office." Karen suppressed a flicker of annoyance. "Probably delivery drivers," she lied, voice tight. Still, throughout the morning, unsettling reports swirled. Unfamiliar men in dark coats lingering by mailboxes, odd packages loaded into unmarked vans, and neighbors spotting crates outside the office. Even Carlos, the landscaper, paused with hedge shears in hand to ask if she'd approved extra storage. Every inquiry chipped at her calm veneer. Doubt whispered that her secret deal was unraveling. By noon, the so-called social club arrived. The tweed-clad man no longer offered polite nods. His gaze darted anxiously toward tinted windows. The burly gentleman shifted his weight, clutching an unremarkable briefcase as though it held a grenade. Karen's customary felt brittle. She cleared her throat. "Please, gentlemen, keep it inside and avoid drawing attention." They mumbled assent and slipped into the back room, the door clicking ominously behind them. Karen edged closer, straining to catch their hushed tones. Words floated through the crack. Shipment, stash, wait. A jolt of panic surged. Her pulse thundered as she stumbled back, nearly toppling a potted fern. How deep had she sunk? Selling space to a harmless chess club felt innocent compared to this darkness. A sudden buzz jolted her senses. The office phone. She froze, knuckles white as she lifted the receiver. "Maplethorpe," she managed. On the other end, a low, urgent voice warned, "Next pickup at 11. Don't be late." Karen's breath hitched. Fear and adrenaline warred inside her, igniting a fierce resolve. Shut it down, run, confess, or risk everything for more money. She glanced at the locked door, the windows, the silent streets beyond. One wrong step could shatter her life. Silence hung heavy as she replaced the receiver, her reflection wavering in the glass. Sweat dripped down her spine. No one could know how close she was to squashing her empire or burying herself in it. Karen drew a shaky breath, each decision now a tightrope over an abyss. Thunderclouds gathered in her mind, merging regret and greed until she could no longer discern utterly wrong. Paranoia danced at her vision's edge. The sun hung high when blaring sirens shattered Willow Creek's Sunday calm. Karen Maplethorpe froze mid-sip of her latte as armored officers stormed the HOA office. Detective Harris barked orders. Deputies shoved past potted palms and flung open the backroom door. Inside, rows of vacuum-sealed cartons gleamed under fluorescent lights. Officer Grant lifted one marked Quetzal Distribution and cracked a grin. "Your chess club is thriving." Before Karen could stammer, two sharply dressed men flanked by unmarked agents stepped forward. An FBI supervisor produced badges stamped with the Eagle seal. "Jesus Alvarez and Ricardo El Tigre Morales," he declared. "Top kingpins of the Azteca cartel, wanted in Florida, Texas, and California for trafficking over 2 tons of narcotics." A collective gasp rippled through onlookers. Karen's cheeks burned. Her house-proud composure crumbled to dust. Alvarez removed tinted glasses, peered at Karen, and offered a cool nod as though acknowledging an old acquaintance. Morales smirked, flicked a cufflink shaped like a serpent, and murmured, "Pleasure doing business, HOA president." An agent cuffed Alvarez and Morales with surprising gentleness before hauling them toward waiting SUVs. Neighbors pressed against windows, mouths agape at the surreal spectacle, their petty tyrant at the center of an international crime sting. Handcuffed and trembling, Karen was guided outside under a barrage of flashing cameras. Reporters shouted questions about her involvement. She answered only with hollow apologies and tears. Her perfect manicure was chipped, her signature pearls twisted into the cold embrace of handcuffs. A final envelope of cash fluttered from her blazer pocket, scattering like tainted confetti across the marble floor. At the precinct under harsh neon glare, Karen confessed every detail. Forging rental agreements, pocketing bribes, ignoring whispers of strange deliveries. FBI analysts displayed holographic charts tracing cartel routes from Mexico to her unsuspecting community. Surveillance footage captured her exchanging thick envelopes with shadowy figures, proof that her greed had paved the way for a sophisticated drug network. By evening, headlines blared, "HOA chairwoman aids Azteca cartel, FBI cracks operation." Social media erupted with memes of Karen's mugshot, her once proud pearls edited into handcuffs. Willow Creek residents toasted justice as Alvarez and Morales were flown to maximum security detention. Karen's empire of petty fines and gossip lay in ruins. Her legacy an object lesson in how blind ambition can unleash far darker forces than a crooked mailbox inspector. The end. Please like and subscribe for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think Karen got what she deserved? Comment below.